When you set a goal, you place yourself under constant pressure to achieve something that exists only in the future. That pressure creates anxiety, doubt, and often procrastination because the mind is fixated on what is missing rather than what can be done right now. But when you build a system, you shift your attention from the distant finish line to the daily steps that lead you there. Each action becomes progress. Each routine becomes proof that you are moving forward. You no longer measure yourself against a goal you have not yet reached, but instead against the consistency of the system you are following. This subtle change removes the weight of waiting for success and replaces it with the satisfaction of steady progress. It is not the distant target that shapes your destiny, but the system you commit to every single day. Discipline, when tied only to goals, often feels like a burden you carry on your back. You wake up each day having to push yourself through sheer force of will, and eventually that willpower runs dry. But when you create a system, discipline transforms into something lighter, something automatic. The system takes over where motivation fails. Think of it as a rhythm. When repeated daily, it becomes second nature. You don't argue with yourself about whether to act. You simply follow the path already laid out. Over time, those repeated actions harden into habits, and habits shape character. What once felt like sacrifice begins to feel like a natural way of living. Systems make discipline invisible because the structure guides you. And when your system runs consistently, you no longer chase discipline, you embody it. A goal, no matter how inspiring, has an expiration date. Once you reach it, the pursuit is over, and too often you find yourself asking, "What now?" That's why so many people achieve a goal only to fall back into old patterns. But a system is different. It doesn't end when you hit a milestone. It continues to carry you forward. A system is designed to sustain progress, to keep producing results long after the excitement of a goal has faded. It becomes the framework for living, not just a one-time achievement. The beauty of a system is that it builds momentum that compounds, feeding into your future without requiring constant reinvention. Where goals give you a moment of satisfaction, systems give you a lifetime of growth. This is why true success belongs not to those who chase outcomes, but to those who commit to systems that endure. When your eyes are fixed only on goals, you spend your life living in the future, constantly measuring yourself against something you don't yet have. That gap between where you are and where you want to be can easily lead to frustration, because the present moment feels like it's never enough. But when you build a system, you anchor yourself in today. You focus on the actions that are within your control, not the results that are still out of reach. Each day becomes meaningful because you're not waiting for success. You're creating it in real time. The present no longer feels like a stepping stone. It becomes the very place where progress happens. And in living this way, you free yourself from anxiety about the future because the system guarantees that tomorrow will take care of itself. True success is found in mastering today. A goal makes you chase after something outside of yourself, a number, a title, an achievement that says you've arrived. But the danger is that once you reach it, you may realize nothing inside you has truly changed. A system works differently. It shapes your identity day by day. By repeating the same disciplined actions, you begin to see yourself in a new light. You stop thinking of yourself as someone striving for success and start recognizing yourself as someone who lives successfully. The system becomes part of who you are, not just something you do. And when your identity shifts, outcomes are no longer something you have to chase. They flow naturally from the person you've become. That is the power of a system. It does not just give you achievements. It transforms you into the kind of person who creates them again and again. Motivation is a fleeting spark. It burns brightly for a moment, but it cannot be trusted to keep you moving. There will be days when you wake up uninspired, when your mind is heavy, and when every excuse seems louder than your ambition. If all you rely on is motivation, you will stop the moment that fire dims. But a system does not depend on how you feel in a given moment. It runs regardless of emotion. It becomes the safety net that carries you through low energy, through doubt, through fatigue. When your actions are tied to a system, you don't wait for inspiration. You act because the structure is already in place. Over time, that consistency builds results far greater than bursts of motivation ever could. And it is in that steady, unshakable rhythm that lasting transformation is born.